Alright, welcome back. So we've got Ares swapping to Persia from Babylon this time. Deadpan sticking with Egyptian. We're here on someone's favourite map. I'm not going to say who. So Egyptian player in our yellow trunks in Deadpan. Persia player in blue trunks is Ares. He's got a spear rush again. But this time Deadpan's hunt pretty safe, so I think Deadpan will be right to get away with the early hunting dogs. Bearing in mind it is a water map, so both our players will be inclined to slowly work towards that at some stage. Even if they get the second town centre first, it is a good idea to go for the water anyway. But Deadpan is going to be pretty naked to start with here. He's actually gathering quite a bit of wood off this first hunt, and he's already scouted out this side of the map. So he's seen the barracks. He'll be looking to transition to an early barracks himself here. Not a great side to go for the water for Ares. Actually, in a way, if you go for the dock here and you start fishing here, there's very little travel time, and it means your fishing boats aren't going to get picked off from the shore. I think there's actually 4 schools of fish in total here. They're just sort of stacked up on top of each other. Pretty common on Swamp Pass, actually. It's deceivingly good. Like, I think there's actually 4 different schools of fish, not just 2. Which, 4,000 food is a lot to be able to get from one place. And there'll be something similar over here. There'll be 3,000 or 4,000 as well. I think what used to make this map Imber is that these ponds could have anywhere from 1 to 7 schools of fish. But I'm pretty sure Recon or PF2K adjusted that, so it's always going to be 3 or 4. So it's just a hell of a lot more balanced. Being down 1,000 food on a lake is a hell of a lot better off than being down 4,000 or 5,000. So. But yeah, Ares hasn't really done anything with his spears so far. I think he's known that Deadpan's gone for the barracks, and he just decided he'll just hang tight till he gets a couple more. He's going to hit pretty late here, and he is going to go for the stone with a lot of these gatherers, try and get that fairly quick second TC behind this. He's aging up now as well. So Ares hasn't got any, he's got 1 villager on food at this stage. Everyone else on wood or stone. Deadpan, pretty similar situation. He's cut that spear production, so he's just making vills at this stage. Being Egyptian, he can, age and make vills. Oh, his house. Oh, no, he's not. Ares is going to do a little run by. And because Ares started the lobby, everything's in Spanish. He's going to go in, but it's only going to be 5 idlers. The Sparrow can take a bit of damage from this TC though. A little bit hardier than the other Age 1 units. Very quick second TC from Ares. Deadpan able to go for his now as well. Probably going to bring his Priestess as well eventually. Putting a little gap there. Leaving 1 tile. Remember all those years ago when I made fun of poor old Taz for not leaving 1 tile between the resource and the building? So it's been ultimately a pretty passive start even with these early military from our players. Deadpan was able to fit in hunting dogs pretty quickly. Ares hasn't done so yet, but he's already got handsaw. Scouting out the water. Looks like Deadpan's going to go for water at this stage though. Which if you can hold on against the initial onslaught, might really be worth it. Bearing in mind though, Persia's a really tough cell to try and play this greedy early on against, just because their bows produce so quickly. Even though they don't have a good counter infantry unit out of the barracks, they'll get one later on in age 3 with Immortals. They can still mass really, really well here. Deadpan going to begin that fishing economy. Ares has been doing a bit of scanning to make sure his opponent's not on his side of the lake, but he hasn't. I don't think he really checked this far side at all. So he hasn't seen that just yet. Stables as well for Ares. Hasn't yet begun bow production, but he's a little bit gold starved at this stage and wanted to just cram out that second range. Now he can probably afford to take a villager off wood or off food and put it on the gold just to maintain continual production here. Start getting his first bowman. You can probably cancel a spear and get an Asabara on the way here. So even players as good as Ares are making slight macro mistakes as they play. It's very hard not to. Probably cram out this first Asabara here. I don't know why he's not. Oh, there we go. He's got it in the queue. He's already got a bit of a mass put together here. Only got the one bowman, but he's got plenty of infantry. A couple of axemen in the mix here for Deadpan. Got a good number of units. These Egyptian infantry are very easy to put together. They're very cheap. You know, you got a spearman that costs 45 and an axeman that costs 50. Sparrow costs 50. Spearman costs 65 for Persia. The bowmen are really quite cheap though, only costing 50. One slinger so far here for Deadpan. He's going to have to really carry the team. So Deadpan getting his second fishing boat, but Ares is now well aware of this. Just sending the Asabara and the scout to start harassing the dock. But we want to bring everything over, I'd say. Still, if he gets a little bit of damage done now, it makes it easier to come back and clean it up. It looks like everything's going to go for the base, perhaps. Could be a bit of a bait, actually. It's only the two Asabara and the scout here. And Deadpan. He's going to come and clean this up, but Ares is just rallying everything towards Deadpan's base now. In fact, he's pretty confident he can take this fight, so he's going to turn around and take on the army here. There's a lot of bowmen for a backline there for Ares. Deadpan, a few units going to get picked off here. The dock still being harassed by the scout. It's not going to go down anytime soon, but now Ares can always just fall back on that dock if he finds he can't push into Deadpan, who's got a healthy amount of production here. He's up to 3 barracks and 2 stables at this point. So he's actually pulled ahead by 1 military building, and he's fitting in an armory right now. Doing a little bit of raiding as well, denying that hunt there. He should be able to get out of this, only taking a bit of damage, but ultimately killing that villager, delaying that hunt. So things aren't too bad for Deadpan, but this dock, yeah, it is going to get picked off pretty quickly. Actually, Ares has decided, no, I'm just going to push towards the base. I've killed the fishing boats. I know I've killed the economy units. If you make more boats, I'll just come back and clean up the dock. Ares preparing himself to try and push here. He's just housed momentarily, not making any military at this stage, but he's already up on even villager count and up by 14 total population. And that's before you account for the 8 or so that Deadpan's got in training. So he's up by about 20 pop at the moment. Looking really, really solid here. Deadpan transitioning to farm, so this has been very dangerous early to mid-game for him. It's tough that he can't just get on the hunt, that he's having to pay for farms, for farm techs. Lose all that build time. Like, there's a lot that goes into getting farms this early on. It really slows you down, and it's part of the reason why there is such a big gap between these players in terms of their army size. Although Deadpan probably could get a bit more producing at the moment. He's struggling for food, but he's got plenty of wood, so he could really throw down a couple of farms, just pump out some more slingers at this stage, just to defend with, buy himself a bit of map control. I know there's a lot of Asabara in the mix, and he is going to have to invest in camels to deal with them, in axemen to deal with the spears, but just having those slingers to clean up some of these bowmen could really help him here. Not everything's able to take the fight for Deadpan as well, so really rocky temper. Going to finish up soon, which will really benefit these Asabara. A lot of low villages there, but Deadpan just able to keep them alive. Yeah, he's just going to try and sneak in here and snipe a villager or two. Able to get a few, because Deadpan's whole army is, or most of his army is over on this other side of this wood line. That dock. Deadpan's going to try remaking a fishing boat, but I think the scout should be able to clean up the dock now. It's that low. It only needs about, what, 12 more hits or something? Well, I think it's been a bit late here for Deadpan, because he's going to have to repair... Oh no, Ares is just putting down a watch post. He's just cleaning up over there. I think there was a storehouse there. H3 on the way. A few techs finishing up as well. So the fishing boat's out. The dock's only got 40 health, and Ares is just going to leave it. I don't know what he's doing here with that. You could just have the scout clean that up. So he's got the watch post there. He can actually see all this, and he's just chilling. Letting Deadpan get back into the game here. 59 villages to 63. Deadpan. Bring around some camels. He might be able to get a little bit of value out of that. Now here we go. Ares is going to clean up the dock. And Deadpan's only paid for the one fishing boat out of it, so I think this has almost paid itself off anyway. Deadpan just moving the boat into the center there. Oh, and then ultimately deleting it. Not going to bother going back on that water. Saves him a population space doing so. It might seem a bit silly if he's intending to ever get back over here, but for now he just wants to make sure he can get up to 160 pop. He's put two more houses down somewhere. H3's on the way, so he can go to 180. He can get that third TC out. Ares already having his. So both our players are just short a house or two. Deadpan looking for a bit of opportunity here. Ares is playing quite forward with his army, so he's going to have to bring some stuff back to clean this up. The Spara can't take down the Vils as quickly as the Spears can. They don't really have as punishing of a snare as well. Beauty of Persia though is, I mean, you got aid tents, so ultimately every villager that doesn't die is just going to heal up. A luxury that some of the other civs don't really get. There he's got a single spearman cleaning up the gold gatherer over here. Deadpan hauling himself in. And the 3 TCs are really, really stacked. He's going to have to go for like a safe market over here or something to start with. And then when he gets a bit of map control, try and throw one up over here and then trade back to one of his upper town centers. Oh, Deadpan's army's getting stuck here. That should be an easy kill for him. But Ares is looking really healthy. He can cut gold gathering for the moment and then just put everything on food and wood and just save to age 4 at this rate. In fact, he's looking at doing a little bit of fishing himself. Send in a couple of battering rams, but the army of Deadpan might be able to catch this. No, he doesn't actually see it, so that's really unfortunate for Deadpan because it sneaks just between the villagers and the army there. And Deadpan better be trying to focus down a lot of these bowmen with his slingers here, because his front line isn't going to last much longer here. There's not a huge amount of chariots as well to really cut through or shoot through the front line. Oh, and the 2 rams do get onto the town center, but Deadpan has a couple of villagers and a couple of axemen here. Should be able to save them. Looks like Deadpan's actually holding pretty well here, so he must have been doing a bit of slinger micro through that. There is the rams. That one. It's going to get there, but I don't think it's going to be able to do enough damage. It's not able to do any damage. Ares has taken map control, but Deadpan's pulled ahead on score and population here. 64 vills to 80 in favor of Ares, but Deadpan is up by 25 pop, so really he's up by like 30 army pop, or 35. Takabara in the mix here for Ares, so they're great against the range, a little bit less strong against the melee, but there's not any melee left here for Deadpan. He's going to have to add a bunch of camels. He's getting some axemen to do a bit of a hit and run here. In fact, he's got a lot of axemen inside Ares' base at this stage. He needs to keep them mobile. Doesn't want to absorb too much fire from those ranged. This bowman will kill them really quickly. Keeping Ares busy here while he creeps forward with the death ball. Oh, he's got so many units just sort of stragglers just chilling, not taking part, which he needs to get involved in the fights here. Because if he can do so, he can actually look at breaking through Ares here, I think. He's still up by a bit of population at this stage. A lot of axemen in production, some more camels, getting camel champion, which will be handy. We could do some more armory upgrades, because Ares has got all of his age 3 upgrades. He's done a real good job of that. Deadpan had faster armory, and he's got all his age 2 up. Oh no, yeah, he's got all his age 2 upgrades, but none of his age 3 ones at this stage. He's going to try and add a couple of siege towers at this stage, creeping forward with those walls. Very cost-effective use of those. Ares is only just now really getting into the swing of fishing here. It's pulling him back into the game though, because he took a couple of fights that really didn't go his way earlier. Deadpan still with axeman raids, but they just haven't gotten him the value he was hoping for, and in fact before he started doing them he was pretty up in army size. Now things have kind of evened out a little. Those axemen should be able to deal a bit of damage once they get on the back line. And the slinger count's really been thinned out. It's mostly melee left for our Egyptian player. Ares is looking pretty skint for food at the moment, but Deadpan, it's gold is what's really costing him at the moment. Asabara trying to make a bit of a break for it. Ares ultimately having to retreat there from the center, and there's plenty of camels to try and deal with this. I don't think Deadpan needs to chase with this. If he brings half of this with his army, he can really start to push into Ares at the moment. So there's a good mass of Immortals, a couple of Slingers, and some Bowmen there. Siege Tower getting taken down. Almost the army's fighting that workshop. This Mealy's in a bit of trouble. Deadpan needs to look at having the whole army take the engagement here, and he's just got so much running through his base that he could, once again, I think, have with this army here. He's just fighting with too much split army, and Ares is taking advantage of it. Deadpan looks like he's saving for age 4 though, but he's just invested so much in lots of camels there. Really walling himself in, doing a good job of that. I think he needs to wall this side though too. Ares, with the fishing, this will help bring him back into the game because it's just such cost-effective gathering. And Deadpan needs to be careful he's not fighting with half his army like he's doing right now. Yeah, it's really let Ares back into the game. Deadpan a little bit away off being able to afford age 4 again. Because before he had 1,000 of each resource and like 560 stone, and it's like, man, you can just about do it. Clean up those Asabara easily. Doing a good job walling himself in at the moment. The army from Ares, just outside of range of that gold mine by the look of it. Raid here from Deadpan. Ares will be able to chop his way through, but Deadpan's got most of his forces here to clean this up. He's getting himself ready with that siege tower. 66 vils to 84. Ares is sneaking in age 4 here, but Deadpan does have the opportunity to deal a bit of damage here. Looks like all those camels that were back here. Oh, yep. Still drawing a lot of attention. Ares is going to notice that Ram chipping away at his town center though. Some more Immortals here. Oh, this is going to catch this tower. Try how this one's going to go here. There's a lot of camels, but there's not really a good counter to Immortals here. This is a really like non-counter fight. These guys counter infantry. These guys counter like ranged and cavalry. Really nothing in counter there. Oh. Deadpan could possibly go and interrupt that food gathering, although Ares isn't struggling for food at the moment. Age 4 for Ares kicking in, and he's getting a workshop on this left side of the map. Oh, that one tower as well is just going to get cleaned up. 280 resources down the drain. Oh no. That is not good. Not good at all. It's not even going to make it to the... I don't know, it might make it to the town center, but I don't think it's going to get great damage done. Maybe one hit. Nah, not even that. Ares starting to harass that gold income of Deadpan, but he's got so much in the bank. It's food is what he's really struggling for. He needs to get on top of this berries over here. Or, you know, get irrigation and throw down another farm or two at this stage. A few chariots. Ares has got age 4 now though. That 4th town center's on the way. Deadpan needs to make something happen. He's got... Oh, he nearly had enough for... Oh, here we go. Yeah, he's got enough for age 4, so he's going for that now. But Ares is going to start pushing soon. There's a lot of Immortals here. Got all of his armory upgrades too. Once again, Deadpan just lacking on armory at this stage of the game compared to Ares. Oh, a lot of villagers going to get slaughtered here. 65 to 90 for the economy count in favor of Ares at the moment. That's a hell of a lot of skeletons. It's funny, I don't think other units have like such a prominent skeletons when they die. Oh no, that's right, they just have their actual body, they're not a skeleton. It's funny that villagers are a skeleton and everything else is just, you know, a fleshy body when they die. But Deadpan taking an engagement, and it's looking really, really rough because even with the bigger army momentarily, even once Ares has that 4th TC, Ares has just got better upgrades at this stage. Age 4 melee damage. Got no Age 3 upgrades yet for Deadpan. Ares has all of his Age 3 upgrades and one Age 4 upgrade for his armory. And now I think Ares has got Deadpan broken here. Might be able to sneak in a Priest of Tar or two, but this is going to be everything he's relying on at this stage. And he takes forever to start converting. He's trying to... Oh no, he's just getting stuck. What's he doing? I don't know if we're going to see any big turn of the tides here. No, unfortunately not. Right, Ares had some mages in the mix, just in case he needed to convert an elephant or two, but didn't clean them up quick enough. Camels trying to pick off stragglers there, but not very successful. Deadpan trying to gather gold from the mid-map, but it's just not panning out the way he'd hope. Priest of Tar in the mix. Going to be able to get any value? No, no, not this time. In fact, the camel gets converted by the mages. I think it's all really coming unstuck for Deadpan here, unfortunately. He's still trying to sneak out a couple of Priests of Tar, but GG. That's it. Ares has just cleaned up too much eco. It's too far ahead in military count. And takes the rematch game. Actually, sorry about that, guys. What I should be doing is having a quick look at the scores for eco and stuff before I go. So Ares was running a lot bigger army there. I mean, a lot bigger eco there, and it could have been a chance for Deadpan to win some good fights. But I think he did split up his army a little bit there as well. And yeah, a few times he led on military size, but ultimately. Ultimately, Ares able to defend. Well, he was actually able to really gain a bit of map control first, and then sort of defend through the middle a bit there as well. Once he sort of started relying on bigger economy and more tech and a smaller army size.